Hey, what's up, everybody? I usually don't do this, but I want to read a small portion out of a book I opened up recently. It's called Infinite Love is the Only Truth. Everything else is illusion. And this is the book. It's by David Icke. And generally I don't enjoy a lot of his earlier books, but this is one of his newer ones. I believe it was published in 2005. And I really like what he says. I was on an American radio show one night when a caller made a great point. He likened humanity to the husband who knows his wife is being unfaithful, so here we go, but is desperately trying to persuade himself it's not true. When she comes home, he confronts her about where she's been and who she's been with. The husband knows the truth, but he is desperately hoping that his wife's explanation sounds credible enough for him to go on kidding himself that everything is fine. He'd rather hear a good lie than accept an unpleasant truth. In the same way, most people don't want to face the conspiracy and corruption of governments or ask why the countries go to war against defenseless civilians, including their own. When governments deliver the lies and excuses for their grotesque actions, most people are ready to accept them because they want to believe the lies are true. The alternative is to face the fact that the government is not a benign servant of the people. It's the other way around. It is to face the reality that the forces which control the United States are capable of orchestrating the horrors of 9/11 and blaming someone else, and that they can brazenly attend funeral services for the victims while knowing they helped to kill them. How many people are strong enough to face that, and what it means for their lives? This is one major reason why the official lies prevail as accepted truth. The alternative is too unthinkable, too unbearable to contemplate, so most people don't. Pass me a bucket, heavy on the sand. The same is true of the collective denial we have about our lives. I've got a big house and a big car. Ain't life great? Well, the house and the car may be great, but life? How many people are doing what they really want to do? How many are truly happy, fulfilled, and at peace with themselves? Hardly any, in truth. Isn't that in itself a profound condemnation of the insanity we call life? Most people do what they think they have to do, and that means serving the system on the system's terms. Why do we confuse life with the world as it is currently experienced? What has life got to do with blowing up children in front of their parents and parents in front of their children and calling it liberation? Where is the life in getting up at the same time every morning to sit in the same jam or queue for the same train on the way to the same job that leaves you bored, frustrated, and unfulfilled, before returning through the same jam or same queue to watch some nightly TV that treats you like a moron? Where is the life in sending our children to schools and universities designed to spit them out as programmed cogs of the next generation? But again, we'd rather convince ourselves that we have a good job, good career, good life, and give our children a good education, than face the horror of horrors that life is actually shit. Or shit compared to what it could be, and we would like it to be. Indeed, it's not life at all. It is a veil of tears disguised with heavy mascara and massive dabs of self-delusion. We judge our happiness by our state of unhappiness, and our achievements by the symbols and trinkets that the system has decreed are the essentials of success. On the day I was writing this, I saw the results of a study about mental and emotional health of teenagers in Britain, although the same will apply across the industrialized, computerized world and beyond. The study, Time Trends in Adolescent Mental Health, published in the Journal of Child Psychology and Psychiatry, revealed that the number of 15-year-olds suffering from anxiety and depression had increased 70% in less than 20 years. We're talking about 15-year-olds. The study concluded that a key cause of this dramatic increase in teenage emotional trauma was the pressure to succeed. It should have added more accurately to succeed on the system's terms. The study said the pressures of succeeding academically and the prospect of debt are contributing to widespread unhappiness. In Britain, thanks to the Blair government, students face a mountain of debt. And I'll pause here and say, also in the US, a huge mountain of debt from school loans. Students face a mountain of debt when they leave university because of the loans they have to take out to pay for their education, or what passes for it. Debt means control by the system, and that's the real reason for student loans. The study also pointed out that the imbalance in time spent at school compared with leisure activities, something I have been highlighting for years. They keep these kids at school for hours on end, 5 days a week, and when the prison door opens, they send them off with homework. When do children and young people have time to do what they want to do? The answer? In between the deluge of academic bullshit designed to turn out the mind fodder that keeps the system rolling on like some runaway snowball, gathering more and more of our freedoms. So anyway, I know that whole passage I read was pretty hardcore, almost kind of depressing, but I thought it really kind of defined what I was thinking about societal life in general. And when he talks about young people and children getting to do what they want to do, later on he talks about how that should be a continuing into adult life. Like, we shouldn't become these sort of system slaves. And yeah, I know there's not necessarily, a group of men saying you're a slave, but it's just the fact that we are not brought up to not only relax and in some ways, smell the roses or whatever you want to say, what cliche thing you want to use, but it's just, there's never this concept of, hey, you don't have to work that hard. Hey, everybody could be an artist. Everything doesn't have to be so expensive. You don't have to do this to live. I mean, I only just can imagine the possibilities of what it would be like if the whole world recognized this. Doesn't matter, rich, poor, culture, race, creed, you name it. If the whole world just realized, hey, we don't have to do this, we could just be free and be us and be daydreamers and artists all, most of the day, and do what we need to survive, and maybe work small jobs, I mean, I've thought for years and years, literally since I was like 18 or 19, I have literally thought it is possible for everyone in the world to work half the time that they do now. I mean, it really is. If you cut out all the BS that you have to deal with under pressure to get deadlines done and everything else, stuff that if you really think about is meaningless, I mean, and that's an interpretation for each individual, but if you really think about that, that's that right there would cut, half of your work time or your pressure, and then you have the rest of that time to lay around and look at the sky if you want. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Glad you're listening. So, hey, feel free to comment. Everybody have an awesome one. See ya.